Hi Ganesh, hi Jacob.
Hi, sir.
Yeah. How's your week?
Yeah, kind of going hectic, sir. But I've not yet started the GCP trial. I think by 27th we're supposed to start so that we get it till OPP2, right, sir?
Yes, yes. Assignment deadline is appropriately rescheduled, I believe. You will get an update by
Sure,
tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
sure, sir. I'll wait for that and then I can start.
Yeah, perfect.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Everyone will wait for 5 minutes, then we can start on. We'll wait for a few of your peers to join. Okay. I would like to hear some feedback. Like, how is it going? Any issues with recording, assignments, etc. We'll delve deeper maybe at later point, but yeah, maybe some comments from your guys.
So Gautam, we are posting it on the YouTube channel of MLOps course. Okay, the first session we have already uploaded it, and from today onwards we will stream it. Okay, so I mean no need to post it. Okay, I'll share you the YouTube link for this. Yeah, Sai has already pasted it. Gautam, I think you only had mailed about it, right? Yeah. So I mean, still you didn't get access. Okay, let me check in the meantime. Okay.
Gautam, could you raise this issue in Google Space if that is accessible? We'll have a can keep track of the issue with you there.
Yes, I actually he has raised his issue over mail, and I think we have forwarded it to Narayanan, but still he's yet to be onboarded on Discourse.
Okay, I think we can start now. Any queries on the content, etc., please go ahead. We can have a discussion.
There are still some folks in the other room, about 10 folks. I put a comment there. Just give me a couple of minutes.
Okay. Yeah, there's some mishap with the meeting link. That's why. Sorry for the inconvenience.
I guess people would have joined. Yeah, it's been 2 minutes since I posted. Yeah, I guess people might have joined from the other place by now.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome everyone. We'll have a discussion on if you guys have any queries on week 2 or week 1 content. We can have a discussion. Okay. Prabhu, go on with your query.
Yeah, so my doubt was related. Am I audible?
Yes, go on.
Yeah, so my doubt was related to week 2 GA. So we in the GA we had to do the data versioning for the data set was provided for that for the week 1 part, right? So in that in the video that sir has used for data versioning, it earlier it had 500 entries for the training, like 500 images, and then for the later version he had pulled some other data for with 1000 images. But we do not have such different data set to like version from. So how are we versioning the data set? Do we just make the first version that we have with the default one, or do we have to do something else there?
You can do this way. The V0 version of the initial dataset can be your base iris dataset. The second one, just add random values, 10 or 20 values from the earlier datasets itself by random sampling, and you can kind of commit it as V2 part. Yeah.
Okay, so basically like make random data and make a version out of it.
Yes, yes. Yeah, you can do
Okay,
that.
okay, okay.
Yes, Gautam.
Yeah, more theoretical question on the second week. What's the difference between shredding and flattening? So, as per the lecture slide, is showing that both are converted into a CSV format, but I am not able to distinguish between those two terms.
Gautam, could you repeat the first part? I missed due to some audio issues. I
Yeah,
got the flattening part. What is the first part?
yeah. What's the difference between shredding and flattering? Both are converting into a CSV format, but what is the distinguishing feature between those two terms?
Okay. More of when you look into flattening side, it's more of, let's say, normal JSON data might be there, right? At that part, uh, JSON is kind of can be recursive in nature. It's more of like for every field you might have an internal dictionary to represent, right? That's where kind of the flattening is basically for every key, unique key you have as part of JSON over the hierarchy. You kind of will have every column as part of your CSV. That is where the flattening comes in. Uh, where you have a high, I mean, in a way, some high dimensional data, you are making it to be consistent. So there might be a chance that it might end up with null values. Okay. Basically, if there is a nested structure, you end up having the flattened or the only one structure of all the columns.
Okay. So shredding is non-flattened. Is it applicable only for non-flattened structures?
Shredding, uh, okay, I might need to get back on that. Yeah, shredding as part of whatever I know, it's where like you might kind of keep the relations intact, but you decompose these tables. Like there might be two CSV files with more of a unified key to match upon, rather than having only one CSV for a whole data. Okay.
It will be easy for me to understand if there is some any example to display the differences between shredding and flattening. Flattening is easy. I think you clearly said that it will be one CSV file. But how does the decomposition happens to two CSV or multiple CSV files in the case of shredding? It will be easy if you explain it through some example.
Okay. Yeah. Let's assume more of. I think we are all familiar with cricket, right? So let's assume that we have a data set that is on the axis of players. Okay. And let's assume that Virat Kohli played two matches. We have a scores of two matches. Okay. And flattening is where all this data structure of like how many runs, data, how many runs, balls, etc., are kind of in a single level in a way. So your columns might have the duplications. Every column might have the Virat Kohli as well as all the nested attributes at the top level itself. So you might end up with the two columns. Studying is where you kind of okay, now I know that relationship is nested. That means I will have a different data representation for player with an ID. Then I will have the second data representation with the ID comma scores. So you will have two CSV files.
Okay, thank you.
More of you can also refer to more of foreign key side of the SQL, right?
Shredding is more like a normalization kind of thing,
Yes.
removing the duplications and bringing them into separate tables.
Any other queries? Yes, Srinivasan.
So J1 is mainly to submit, create the vertex A environment and all that, right? And GA2 actually has that work. But if they are all submitted to be submitted together, is there, or can we have a slightly later date for GA2 so that we can get some GA1 feedback and maybe ensure that we get the vertex AI environment right for submitting GA2? Otherwise, the way I look at it, GA1 seems to be redundant now if they are going to be submitted together.
Yeah, due to operational issues, that has been the case. But if possible, maybe try to submit the GA1 by 27th as soon as possible so that we can come back with some feedback. Or even if you have some configuration issues while configuring the GCP or Vertex AI, please feel free to like drop some query on Discourse. That would be better, I believe. Extending further might not be appropriate at this point because it delays all the OP1 also. At OP1 time, we are expecting you guys to be prepared for at least some skills, right? So delaying it might be some cumbersome for some of the students who kind of delay till the deadline. Uh, in these sessions, at least on MLOps, feel free to come up with real world use cases. We can have a discussion on them. Professor will also be there to kind of explain the approach, ideal approach as well as different approaches. Okay. Feel free to query everything. Don't worry about is it kind of related to content or not. Okay. Everything that belongs to MLOps can be discussed. Yes, Srinivas.
On the on the configuration. So OPP2 is on August 24th. So so we can start the GCP subscription on May 26th, right? So that way, would we have any need for GCP after we have finished with OPP2?
No, not totally. There might be a chance if you, but ideally uh, the I think the end term criteria is dependent on week 7. Top, I mean, average of top 5 assignments of weeks till week 7. So there might be assignments around week 11 or 10 If that's the case, then there might be a chance that uh, you might need to explore the GCP, but at least for course requirements, that is not needed.
Okay, so OPB2 was on August 24th. So that way, if May 26th, suppose I create the GCP 90-day trial period, I would be able to cover OPB2 and I should be fine, right? I think
Yes,
that is the biggest worry that people have, because we don't want the GCP credit to finish before OPB2.
yes. Don't worry much about it. GCP is kind of, I mean, it's not stricter to kind of give access to the second account also, so it's fine. Uh, but yeah, the credit card might be something that you guys need to worry about. But if everything planned appropriately in a way, like May 27, you start the trial, I think everything goes well.
And sir, it's not important to use our IITM email ID for GCP. We can do it our personal account also.
Yes, yes. IITM email ID, some are facing some issues with project creation also. Uh, it's fine to use your personal ID. Kaushik, go on with your query.
Yeah, sorry, just a follow-up question from that. So if I've already created a GCP account which I'm using for the assignments. So suppose I along the way just open up another account, will I have to practically configure everything from week 1 all the way till then so that I can do, let's say I do it in week 8 or something like that? Because I've already opened one right now, or because I don't know how the assignments are going to be.
There might be some configuration issues you might face, but if you end up doing all the assignments, I believe you will come across them and you will know that how to resolve them. You will have your screencast also to refer to at the time of your OP2. So yeah.
No. So that's fine. But my question is, say week 7 or something, I open a new account. Will I have to reconfigure everything from week 1 all the way in the new account before I can do week 7? Is that how it is designed? As in, what I'm asking is every week a build on top of what we've configured so far?
Uh, there might be a chance, but issue is like you will be using GitHub as more of a versioning repository. So new project might also directly can connect to your GitHub to do all these things. So
Okay, I see.
there is an intermediary state from GitHub, right? So yeah, that
Okay,
a major role.
got it. Thanks.
Prabudh Mathur.
Yeah, so I had one more doubt. Like I have IBD as well as MLOps this term. So do I need to have like two accounts for both of them? Like, or should I or credits for one account will be sufficient for both of the courses?
As shared as part of the FAQ, yes, like it will be sufficient. Don't worry much about the credits part, but make sure that you kind of close your cluster resources appropriately. In a way, as part of your introduction to big data, you might end up using PySpark clusters. So at that point, it would be better for you once the assignment is done, you close all those clusters and kind of finish them up. If you kind of held on to those clusters running, there might be a chance that they run in the background and they might kind of eat your all the credits.
Okay. Thank you.
Venkatesh. Venkatesh, do you have any query?
Sorry. Yes. Yeah. I had a query on like GA1 and GA2. In GA1, just you'll be doing following the lecturer, like what are the how to integrate the logging into GCP account, then using importing Iris dataset. That is what we are going to be requested, right? Because it's just asking setting up, demonstrating the lecture in your GCP account in the GA1.
Sorry, Venkatesh, could you repeat?
Yeah, in graded assignment 1, okay, we are requested just to set up the similar whatever is introduced in hands-on training, right? Introduction to only that is what is been requested, right? Because I don't see any other questions being
Yeah,
asked.
no, yes, that is what expected is. Kind of setting up your environment and essentials. That's
Okay. Then from graded assignment 2, we'll be asked to do data versions, right? For
yes.
the
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Lovely.
During the OPP, what kind of restrictions will be there, and what all will be allowed to look at in terms of online help, manuals, or things like that?
Everything will be available. Just one constraint on LLM that we will share before OPP1. Okay. We are not totally sure on LLM usage yet. We'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
But
So if we don't use LLM, we have access to all the internet resources, and we can
yes,
look at
you can
okay.
use all the documentation, Stack Overflow, etc. All fine.
Okay.
Your assignments can also be referred. Everything is fine.
Okay. And we can look at these videos that we have preparing submissions and these things.
Everything.
Okay.
Like you can also refer to YouTube videos from other maybe like content creators too. It's fine.
Okay.
We don't restrict on that. But LLM will update you.
Fine.
Sri Harsha.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, go on.
Yeah. Can you please clarify and the deadline and of week 1 and 2 assignments are ones?
Okay, these are extended till June 1, I believe. Jimmy, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that thing has not been updated on the portal. That's why I missed.
They will be updated today. Don't worry.
Thank you, sir. That's it.
Srinivasan. Yeah.
Okay, so since somebody mentioned big data, so I've heard that some of the big data OPPs have gone on for many hours.
Yes.
So should we expect something similar here? I don't know why I never did big data, so I don't know what was the reason. But should we also be prepared that this OPP will go for a much longer time?
Yes, there might be a chance. Given that this is more of a first offering, we are kind of giving the extended times right now. We are expecting the objective to be something can be solved around 2.5 hours, or 1.5 hour to 2 hours. We are giving something around 2.5 to 3 hours, I believe, 1 hour extra, just to make sure that we understand how kind of students kind of go through the problem statement or any errors they come through. Yeah, but it
No,
will
I
be
think
sufficient.
one big data OPP went for some 7 hours or something because of some configuration issue or whatever last term. That's what I heard. Might have been wrong, but that's
No, I think they kind of go around 5 hours. 4 hours is for my kind of for solutions, and 1 hour is for video recording or like document creation, etc. Not 7, at least from whatever I know.
okay. So 5. So this will be more like 3 hours. Okay.
Yeah, 3 to 4. Yeah. But yeah, it will be more than enough for the problem statement.
So, sir, in OPP1, what type of resources do we have to access?
It depends on your problem statement actually. So can't comment on that, but expect that like whatever you guys have hands-on experience as part of your assignments, you might end up having the same as part of your OP. But right now you guys might be dealing with the smaller objectives, right? Create a data versioning for this particular file. At that point, we might give you a folder of files or versions of files, and we expect you to build that pipeline altogether.
Okay, do we have access to Google or something like
Yes, it
suite
will be open.
which is inbuilt in
Don't worry about it.
So basically, the OPP will be held in Google Colab or something like in the GCP only.
It should be executed as part of your GCP itself.
Okay.
Yeah. Kaushik.
Yeah, so I had two questions. So one is more a question on these practice assignments. I saw many of these questions seem to come from the documentation of different sorts, right? The cloud platform documentation and so on. So is there expectation that we read up all those so that eventually that's all going to appear in the end term? Is that the general thought process?
No. Practice assignments are more aligned towards encouraging you guys to explore. Because
Okay.
as part of lectures, we can't share everything that is offered at GCP or these tools, right? With the given
Right.
constraint of hours of lectures that we can post. So these are kind of way we kind of test you guys so that you guys can explore whenever you guys have free time. So that at the end of the day, learning is needed, right? It's not nothing more important than that. It should be
Right.
useful
Right.
by the time you complete the course. It should be useful. It should not be limited towards this is not taught in my course, right?
Okay, so it's primarily to prompt us to kind of go and read through this documentation.
Yes, yes.
That's the
This will
idea.
be very helpful if you can go through them. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So that's number one. And the other question was more like a question from the lecture. Can you just explain the purpose of that .dvc file that is being created? I didn't fully get it from the lecture. Is that the versioning file? If you can throw some light on it.
I think .dvc kind of helps you to manage all this versioning part of DVC. So for more, I think you can need to explore. But simple thing is more of it can kind of works by hash functions in a way that okay, let's assume there is a file called one.png. Okay, .dvc will keep track of this particular file. Let's assume that one.png is replaced by the same name but with a larger HD resolution file. So that just by comparing it a hash or some sort of comparison, it knows that okay, this file got updated, so I need to kind of version this appropriately now. So it kind of
Okay.
helps to keep track of those differences in these object files. There are many other features also, so this is one of them. You can kind of explore on.
Sure. So suppose I have something like a cat1.jpg file in initial version, and then I just, let's say, change a few pixels, some colors of a few pixels in the same file. So DVC picks up those also, is it? It does a file diff for each of these things and says
Yes.
that there is a version change in that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And the Git is primarily used for
Code version.
Code versioning. Okay. So therefore, data versioning is done first, and then whatever files are being produced from that also goes into the GitHub Git repository. Is
Yes.
that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this, sorry, can I say something here on this topic?
Yeah.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
My understanding was that it is the DVC which is getting checked into the GitHub, these .dvc files, and these .dvc files are the ones which are containing information about the actual data files. Because the actual data files never make it to the GitHub. They get archived locally in different folders, and it is just creating all those symbolic links. And the GitHub is seeing only this .dvc file because that's what contains the mapping of all the actual data. Is this right understanding?
There is other variant also. I think Git LTF can also be used for kind of storing object. LTF is large object storage from Git basically. This that doesn't. 1 minute. Yeah, large file storage of Git LTF that can also be used with in collaboration with .dvc. Yeah, where your data might also end up in Git.
Yeah, but typically this the configuration, the discussion that was there in the lectures, what I understood is that things like GitHub are more optimized for the text kind of things, and adding these binary objects can keep on explode the data storage requirements over there because everything becomes a new version over there.
Yes,
and
yes. In a way, kind of decouples that data storage is kind of separated to some other server.
Yeah,
it decouples. Configuration still stays with Git, but you can also use Git LTF to kind of use as more of storing your large objects too. That is
okay,
also a possibility.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Prashant, your query from chat. I just want to confirm as almost everything is allowed in OP, so it will be similar to non-proctored examinations, or do we need to need both SIA and phone camera and OP. We expect you to have the side view of your phone camera. Yes, just to make sure that you are attending the meet.
Can you explain it a little bit more, sir?
Sorry, what part?
We do have to connect it with SIA or mobile with both.
No, SIA will not be there. At least whatever I am aware of the SOP for intro to big data processes. But a side view camera should be there to make sure that you are the person attending the this examination.
Okay.
Yeah, Gautam.
So regarding the versioning of the data, is there any way to compare data of different versions? So what are the changes? Just like in your VS Code, we compare the code, what are the which line changed the code, and so is there any way to compare the data as well?
Again, the whatever on the Git side of code versioning side, the major comparison happens with respect to text comparison. The number of lines changed, something like that. But
Yeah.
with respect to when you are dealing with object like images or music, the even some modification to your pixel modification to your image kind of results in uh, different representation in JPEG or PNG. So you can't directly say that this is the pixel changed, but you will know that just by looking at file hashes that okay, my object changed. But if you are kind of looking into the way that I want to know precisely this pixel has changed, yes, you can do that, but not with respect to DVC, but by different comparisons. Yeah.
So if it is a relational database, then is there any way to go?
Sorry, is there?
So, yeah, you give an example for blob objects, but if it is a relational database, so then for different versions, can we compare
Yes, yes, you
which
can.
tables got modified and which
Yes,
rows
yes, you
got
can.
added?
You can. You can.
Okay. Okay.
Suyash, I think you might need OAuth credentials for Google, I believe. You can create as part of IAM. You need your OAuth credentials to kind of authenticate your local machine to connect to directly to the your VM or GCP services.
Actually, in a project of mine, it's a group project, and I'm not the admin of it. I tried creating a service account, and then after the account was created, I downloaded a new key by making it in the GCP console. And once the JSON was downloaded, I placed it in a local environment by the name Google Auth Credentials. And every time I tried to run it, it just did not run. Whereas when I installed Google SDK and tried to authenticate my account via that, it authenticated right away, and I was able to use the Gemini model. So that's the confusion that I'm having, whether the absence of Vertex AI API user that is added while creating the service account is needed, or am I lacking any kind of permissions in order to create the proper service account that will get authenticated right away?
Uh, just a query: are you using any LLM as part of this particular pipeline run?
Gemini 2.0 Flash.
Yes, yeah, there might be a chance that you might need Vertex AI API key also, I believe, because issue is Google is decoupling the Vertex AI from the LLM usage from the GCP itself. So there might be a chance that different API key might be needed. Earlier, it used to be for normal access to any model, you might need to have GCP account, GCP project, GCP OAuth credentials, etc. Right now, GCP is more lenient. Just like OpenAI also has this service, right? You create an account, you generate the API, you use it as more of a SaaS product, right? So
Yeah.
Google is kind of decoupling their LLM offerings to the same version of OpenAI. You kind of get the API key, kind of plug it in the code base, use it. Yeah. So there might be a chance of that.
Okay, understood. I'll give that a try. Thank you.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah, Ladeep.
Okay, sir. My query was that during the week 2 hands-on demo, that train.py and data they were used, and now we have got from week 1 where we have got over that Jupyter notebook and data. So instead of using the shell of the console, can we use the terminal of the Jupyter notebook? Like when we click on the file, we can open a terminal and it act as a shell only.
You can run. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
But DVC should be appropriately configured.
Okay, sir. So in that, when we use the terminal, so it is doing the versioning of two things. It is doing the versioning of data also, and it is doing the versioning of the model also. So that model.pkl file which is made, so that is also version, and that we can upload to the Git also.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Any other queries anyone have or wants to discuss anything?
No.
Okay, then can we close it? I mean, if we don't have any queries or anything. Okay, all right. Then yeah, we will close the session. In the meantime, if anyone has from next week, what we will do now, we will also circulate a G form. Okay, I mean, just to make the process, yeah, I mean, it will smoother. We'll share one G form so that you can mention your queries over there. Okay.
And sir,
Yeah.
can you please repeat the last part? You are not audible.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that from the next session, we will try to share a Google form where you can mention your queries. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Just to smooth the process. Yeah. All right, then maybe we can close the session.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please.
And one more thing regarding the attendance, how will it be recorded, sir?
At least, I mean, we will use this calendar. I mean, at least whoever has attended more than 50%, I mean, whoever present in the session for more than 50% of the time, we will mark them as present. Because this
Okay.
is what I am thinking currently. Okay, I need to discuss.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, most probably, yeah, this would be the.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
That's
Anything else? Okay. Okay, if not, then maybe we can. I mean, you can drop off. We will close it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone. Have a great night. Bye.